Welcome back to Judgment Day Stories. The climax is behind us. Now we live in the world it created. Part 11 of StoneHaven is the essential epilogue, showing us the morning after for Leo Hayes and Julian Croft. This is where legend calcifies into history and choice hardens into fate.
Why? Well, railway the one lot all with my eye but cool rail to move to well. I was the radio with the ring lower yeah one word to war way to what wire over one out we wire root where for it went on one way to be so without
The cage he always knew was waiting for him. But what does a warrior do when the war is legislatively definitively over? See him confront a silence more deafening than any gunfire. His struggle is no longer against enemies, but against meaning itself. Is he a martyr, a prisoner, or a relic? The system he fought against now owns his time, his body, his future. We explore his day-to-day existence, not as a thriller, but as a slow, grinding philosophical inquiry. He reads, he works, he observes the rigid hierarchies of prison life. He sees shadows of the same power dynamics he fought on the outside, now stripped bare. For Leo, the battleground has shrunk to the 6 feet of his cell and the vast, uncharted territory of his own mind. He rejected compromise, and in doing so, became an absolute. But what does it mean to be an absolute symbol when you read just a man eating his lunch in a crowded, noisy hall, surrounded by men who are also just paying a price? This isn't about escape plans. It's about the search for an inner freedom when all external freedoms have been revoked. His name is a whisper of rebellion on the streets, a footnote in political science textbooks in the making. But for the man himself, what is left when the myth is all that anyone sees? We watch as he begins to piece together a new purpose, not from action, but from stillness. And Julian Croft now sits in the chair of power, the big one, the one he bled for, the one he sacrificed his closest bond for. Their house, once a haven, now smells like desperation in nice suits, and the haunting desire for redemption. It's a specific, poignant nostalgia for a path not taken, a version of himself he can never be again. Every policy he signs, every handshake he gives, is shadowed by the immense cost. Can you build a just city on a foundation of personal ruin? We see Julian in his first council meeting as the acknowledged leader. The respect in the room is palpable, but it's tinged with fear and a deep, unspoken knowledge of what he was willing to do to get there. He's effective, brilliant even. He pushes through reforms that will genuinely help people, the very things he and Leo dreamed of. But every victory feels hollow. He navigates the treacherous waters of politics with a chilling pragmatism, outmaneuvers rivals, builds alliances, and makes the hard calls. But at night, alone in the seat of power, the ghosts of his choices are his only company. His administration is built on the pact, the secret that is now an open wound. He has to govern a city that knows he betrayed his brother-in-arms for the greater good. But was it the greater good? Or was it just his good? This is the core of Julian's torment. He has the power to shape the future, but he's forever chained to his past. His story becomes a masterclass in the burdens of leadership, where every public triumph is paid for with a private piece of his soul. Meanwhile, Titan City metabolizes their story. It doesn't just fade into memory. It becomes a living, breathing part of the city's identity. It's a tool, a parable, a ghost that haunts every political debate and backroom deal. New figures, aspiring leaders and would-be revolutionaries, look at the rise and fall of Leo and Julian as a blueprint or as a cautionary tale. In the universities, their pact is debated in ethics classes. In the bars, citizens argue over who was right, who was wrong, and if there's even a difference. A mural of Leo, the man of action, goes up in a disenfranchised neighborhood, a symbol of defiance. A political opponent gives a fiery speech, using Julian's story as a warning against the corrupting influence of power. Their personal tragedy has become public property. The narrative is split, bifurcated. There's Leo, the man of action, whose path leads to consequence and eventually to legend. Then there's Julian, the man of power, whose path leads to governance and the immense burden that comes with it. These two lines, once intertwined in a bond of sanctuary, are now permanently separate. They run parallel but will never touch again, a living monument to their one irreversible choice. The StoneHaven was their bond. Now that bond is just a memory that shapes an entire city. This isn't about feelings or vibes. We trade in outcomes, and the outcome is a permanent separation. This leaves us with a lingering, practical moral judgment. In the ruthless calculus of history and power, does making the right choice guarantee a good outcome? Or are we left as they are, to build meaning from the irreversible consequences, in a world where victory and loss are forever intertwined? We see Leo looking at the sky from a confined place, a hint of peace in his eyes. He has nothing left to lose, and in that finds a strange sort of liberation. We see Julian signing a major bill into law, his face a mask of resolved duty. He has won everything he wanted, but his expression shows the weight of that victory. Their story is over, but its weight remains. The question of what it all meant is now ours to answer. This conversation ends where excuses begin. What does their legacy mean to you? Binge the entire transformative Sanctuary saga from Part 1 right here on our channel. Subscribe and hit the bell for our next series where we dissect the myths that shape our world. Judgment Day stories, verdict is yours to make.